You are Locked On Phillies Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into the show. My name is Mark Farzetta. This right here is Locked On Sports Philadelphia on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel for your Locked On Phillies postcast. It's great to have you along for the ride. Hope you guys are just having a wonderful evening other than watching your Philadelphia Phillies suck at baseball. Can we stop, please, and thank you with the whole Taijuan Walker thing? Are we done? Is it over yet? It's not over yet? They're going to keep pitching him? I know that $18 million over the next 3 years. Excuse me, each year over the next 3 years. $18 million. Phillies are going to just keep trotting them out there. Just start after start after start. And I am just here to beg you to join me in making sure that we do whatever it takes, that we never have to watch Taijuan Walker. We got to sign a petition. We got to go to Citizens Bank Park. I don't know. We all got to tweet. I don't know what we got to do. But whatever it takes on social media to get this done, we need to make sure this is good. No more Taijuan Walker, okay? I cannot watch Taijuan Walker start another game for the Philadelphia Phillies. And believe me, I get it and I realize it. The Phillies have so many problems right now. Taijuan Walker is their problem every fifth day now. And then in between, they got a whole boatload of other problems. But I think we just all need to agree that we can't see Taijuan Walker pitch another game for this Philadelphia Phillies squad, for the 2024 Phillies. This is a guy who already had that $72 million deal, and he didn't even pitch in the postseason last year. You didn't even pitch him in the postseason. So I know you already, or at least you should, have 1 foot out the door with Taijuan Walker. Then he's got injuries this year, and every time he's on the bump, he's terrible. And the Phillies just keep on, no, he'll be good. He'll be better this time. You know what was the craziest stat of tonight? You know what was the craziest stat? Of the 3 innings and 6 runs that he was surrendered tonight, Taijuan Walker, Witt was 0 for 2 against him. like, where were you when he went 0 for 2 against Taijuan Walker, of all people? And that actually reminds me, one of the guys that's really in my crosshairs, not named Taijuan Walker, and we'll get to the other things as well, is Trea Turner. What we're going to talk about on tonight's show. After Game 3 against the Braves last night, Trea Turner moseyed on up to the microphones right by his locker in the clubhouse, and he was asked by Todd Zalecki of MLB.com about, hey, what does this mean? You guys just lost 2 or 3 to the Braves. This was an opportunity to really, put them out of their misery and show that you were going to be the dominant team and really, take the bull by the horns, so to speak, in the NL East and just completely extinguish any hope that the Braves had to win the division. And he's like, well, yeah, we couldn't really do that. Unfortunately, we would have loved to, we didn't do it. And then he went on to talk about the struggles that he and Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper were having after last night's game, right? And he said 3 times, it's weird. He was asked specifically then if it's concerning the struggles that the lineup is having, particularly their 1 through 3 hitters in Schwarber, Turner, and Harper, who, as we noted last night, checks back to the notes. After last night's Game 3 against the Braves in that series, they went 2 for 33. They got to a point in tonight's game where I believe they were 2 for 36, 2 for 37, 2 for 30, 2 for 38 before Bryce Harper got a hit. So they were batting at one point .055 in tonight's game, the top 3 guys before Bryce Harper got a hit. So that's a good time. We're having a blast, okay? And Trea Turner, when he was asked about the struggles for the 1 through 3 hitters, Trea Turner said, it's weird. Are you concerned, though, about, are you concerned? No, it's weird. No, it's just weird that this is how we're not concerned. We know we're a good baseball team. It's just weird. It's weird. I don't expect any player ever of any ilk to step up to a microphone and be like, we're so lost, oh my, help us. We don't know what to do. Kevin Long isn't helping us. Rob Thompson isn't helping us. Dave Dombrowski saw how terrible we were after the All-Star break, and he wouldn't even trade for anybody of any significance. Oh, God, help us. Like, I'm not expecting a player to do that. But just saying it's weird, that ain't going to cut it, man. That doesn't take the taco, pal. And then watching Trea Turner, and this is what reminded me of it, the Bobby Witt Jr. Grounder to short, that Trea Turner acted like he was just getting out of bed and stretching, like, oh, God, he's running fast. He's fast. Go figure. And he fires it to first. He's just able to get him by 1/16 of a step. I'm looking at Trea Turner, and I'm going, really? Really, dude? Really? 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 It's embarrassing. And I've gotten to the point, this is what I realized in watching tonight's game. I realized that, especially watching Kyle Schwarber and Trea Turner argue with the umpire, this is when I really realized that I'm truly pissed at my team. When I start really siding with the umpire, and even if the umpire is wrong, and I know the umpire is wrong, which he really wasn't that many times tonight, I'm just like, yeah, you tell Kyle Schwarber to swing that bat. Like you tell Trea Turner he can't locate a strike or a ball, for instance. And then what was beautiful was the way Trea Turner just kept the bat on his shoulder there when he struck out at the end of the game. Wasn't that awesome? That was great, right? Because that was all the umpire's fault. That ball right down the middle. What is Trea Turner even? He's not going to swing at that. That garbage that was right down the middle of the plate. But he is going to cry. He is going to cry in his Cheerios about the umpire calling a curveball away, a strike, when it was a strike. And Trea Turner just wants to cry about it? All right. Yeah, that's going to help. Hey, Trea, don't worry about it, man. It's just weird. It's weird. It's weird. You know, weird is 0 for 2 against Walker. Weird is John Middleton, a guy who really wants to win as the Phillies CEO. And that Dave Dombrowski guy who's been to like 5 World Series, 1, 2 of them, 3 of them. What is it now? The president there of the Phillies, and still thinking that Taijuan Walker is it. Like that. Oh yeah, Taijuan Walker. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago when I said that Dave Dombrowski issued a challenge. I think it was after the loss to the Marlins, where I said Dave Dombrowski issued a challenge to his lineup, and he said to his lineup, "Hey there, lineup. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go out there and I want you to do your thing because I'm not trading for anyone of great significance. The best we're going to do in terms of bolstering our lineup is Austin Hayes. Good luck to you, boys." And so far, that has not worked out. Not even a little bit. We're all having fun. So much fun. Anyway, welcome in once again to That's the longest open I've ever done. Welcome in once again to Locked On Sports Philadelphia, your Locked On Phillies postcast. My name is Mark Farzetta. I hope you guys are just having a wonderful time so far, other than watching the Phillies. I hope everything else in your life is going great. Hey, the Eagles play tomorrow. I'll have your postcast responsibilities on that one, so I look forward to that. As far as just about everything else goes for this Phillies team tonight and what was so scary, we'll get to that. But first, I do have to tell you, thank you so much for making Locked On Sports Philadelphia and Locked On Phillies postcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube as well. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This particular episode is brought to you by Supply House, supplyhouse.com, supplyhouse.com, reliable way to get the parts you need fast. Shop for your next plumbing, HVAC, or electrical jobs online with supplyhouse.com, where you get fast shipping from coast to coast at supplyhouse.com. Let's jump into it. 3 big things. Number 1, I'm just going to go straight at it. The Taijuan Walker experiment. As I stated in the open, we need to be done with this. It's over. Everything I'm seeing from him, and it's obviously nothing new, has been flat over the middle of the plate. He ain't fooling anybody. And one of the wildest things about tonight's start, everything was either a 3-ball count or a 3-2 count. He would get to 2-2, and then it would be not getting him out. It's going to go full. And that's the way it worked out throughout tonight's ball game. Time and time and time again. First inning, you see him go out there. He gives up the double to Perez. He already, boom, right out of the gates, 1-0, a 25-pitch first inning. Then he goes into the second inning, a 20-pitch second inning. Started off with a walk to Renfroe. Again, a 3-2 count. Had a 3-2 count in the first inning on Perez, 3-2 count on Melendez. So that's 3-2 counts. Second inning, 3-2 to Renfroe. He's able to get out of that inning without allowing a run somehow. Phillies come back on the Brandon Marsh RBI single. Thank goodness. Renfroe had a little issue there with being able to pick up a baseball. It's a 1-1 game after Realmuto led off that inning with a double. And then in the bottom of the third inning, the wheels, they didn't fall off. They didn't come off. They exploded off of the car. Leadoff single to Massey, 3-2 count, go figure. Witt steps up to the plate, grounds out to short. That's the lazy play by Trea Turner. Don't know what he was thinking on that one, but then had to fire it to first. Then Pasquantino. I got to say this as a Phillies fan. I got to appreciate this about the Royals. Love the celebration. Pasquatch. Now the 3 Pasquales I know in my life. I don't know any Pasquantinos or anything, but the 3 Pasquales I know in my life, they're all Pasquatch now. They're all going to be Pasquatch. Anyway, if I'm late to that party, I'm late to that party. But anyway, he comes up with the RBI single, makes it a 2-1 game, breaks the tie. Perez gets the 2-run home run, 434 feet. Good Lord. 4-1 game now in favor of the Royals. And then Renfroe steps up there, 412 feet, a sinker that did not have any run, certainly didn't have any sink, and went out there 412 feet to left field. 6-1 in the third inning for Taijuan Walker. After that, the Phillies then went to the bullpen. Tyler Gilbert, I believe it was. Is that the gentleman's name? Yeah, he came in. I don't have any recollection of him being a person. I certainly don't have any recollection of him being a Philadelphia Phillies player. I swear at that point, the Phillies were just auditioning people that were in the ballpark at the time. I'm pretty sure, I can't be certain, but I'm almost positive that Tyler Gilbert came out there in the fourth inning there for the Phils. I'm pretty sure he was chucking beer at people in the stands, and they just said, "You'll do. I see the arm. Come on down. Can you pitch? Come on down, son. Let's see you hurl it." And he went down there and he hurled it. And he actually, look at it. He gave up 1 run. I'm not mad at him for that. Then Lazar came in, Alvarado, Banks. Here's what's funny. When Taijuan Walker was going through it in the third inning, I asked this question on social media, on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it. I asked this question, and people were kind enough to respond. I said, who would you rather see pitch for the Phillies? Taijuan Walker, Jose Alvarado, Garrett Stubbs, who likes to come in and make sure he, mops up in like a 10-run game when the Phillies are losing, right? Garrett Stubbs, or maybe they're winning. Remember when they used to win games? Garrett Stubbs, we want to see him. Or do you want to see Spanish interpreter Diego, want to make sure I say his name correctly, Dianiello. Do you want to see him come in there? Now, to my knowledge, Diego is never, I don't even know if he's ever been an athlete in his life. He looks a little athletic, maybe, I don't know. But who would you want to see? And out of the 772 votes, 75% voted for not Taijuan Walker, not Jose Alvarado, not even Garrett Stubbs, but Spanish interpreter Diego Dianiello. That Philadelphia, that's why I love you. I love us. I love us because you know what? If we weren't laughing, we'd be crying with how terrible this baseball team has of late and having to watch Taijuan Walker time and time again. So he's number 1 on the list. Number 2 on the list, Taijuan Walker. I'm just so used to ripping Taijuan Walker now. Number 2 on the list, Trea Turner. I told you about the weird comments. It's weird. It's just weird. I'm not concerned. It's just weird. No, it's not weird. It's you. This has been a long time. If like you had a really rough week, then I'd be like, oh, you had a rough week. That's weird. But when you, Trea Turner, have been struggling so much since the All-Star break, and I know, NL Player of the Week. Congratulations for beating the brakes off the Marlins and the Nationals. Congratulations on that. He has looked lost at the plate. Now, here's what we're looking at for tonight. Okay, do I have it? I have it right here. Okay. So there's Trea Turner tonight. 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Okay? That's Trea Turner this evening. 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. Now, Trea Turner, let's remember this. Trea Turner goes into that series comes out of that series against the Braves, and he was 0 for 4, 0 for 3, 0 for 4. Trea Turner ain't getting it done, folks. He ain't getting it done. And he has the cojones to allegedly not busted out of the box in Atlanta. He has the cojones to talk about how this is just weird and no one's concerned. And then he's got the cojones to go out there tonight and throw a lazy throw in the second inning against Bobby Witt Jr., who is going to beat the brakes off the Phillies later in this series. Wasn't able to do it as much tonight, but is certainly going to be able to do that later in the series. And fortunately for the Phillies, he only had the one hit tonight. But, we know he's just ready to break out of that, right? Like that was a fluke tonight. Okay. Just make sure we're on the same page. And then has the cojones to then argue with the umpire about balls and strikes when he can't see the ball out of the pitcher's hand worth anything. Cool. Number 3. Kyle Schwarber, coming into tonight's game, has 4 home runs off Michael Wagga 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 Wagga. And he jumps on a first pitch. I think he got the first pitch fastball. It might have been a changeup. First pitch of the game. He jumps on it, trying to make something happen. 4-seam fastball, outside corner of the plate. Schwarber just decides to go up there. They showed the footage before the game of him with Kevin Long in the cage, hitting off a tee, and there's a curveball machine and all that jazz, right? Kyle Schwarber goes up there, tries to smack a fastball out of the park. It's outside. He hits it off the end of the bat, flies out to center field, first out of the game. 1 pitch, 1 out. From that point on, you felt like things weren't really going to go their way. For Kyle Schwarber, also 0 for 5 in the game with 3 strikeouts. There was one particular case in this game that just made me question all of humanity. 5th inning, 2 outs already. You're still facing Michael Wacha. Top of the 5th inning, Kyle Schwarber steps up to the plate. The hacks he took in that 5th inning at bat reminded me of how terrible he looked against Ronaldo Lopez. Kyle Schwarber in that at bat got back-to-back changeups to end that at bat, and he looked more lost one after the other. It was in total a 4-pitch at bat. He got a sinker to start things off low in the zone. He was leading the count 1-0. Then he gets a changeup, takes it over the middle of the plate. Middle of the plate, takes a changeup. It's 1-1. Then he gets a changeup a little bit more inside. He thought it was too inside. He looked at it, didn't like the call. That's a ball he could also rip out of the park, but he took it. So now you're down in the count 1-2. 4th pitch of the at bat, he gets a slider, and he just swings over top of it, and that was that. Michael Wacha, I got to give him credit. He got in Bryson Stott's head a little bit later in the game with his back-to-back changeups on Bryson Stott in a key situation. We'll get to that later. But Taijuan Walker, Trea Turner, Kyle Schwarber, awful, awful, and awful. One's been awful. The other 2 are more recently awful. Hopefully they snap out of that in the not-too-distant future. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the instances the Phillies had on the offensive side of things to get something going, and unfortunately failed miserably. Back in a few, Locked On Sports Philadelphia and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Liquid IV. When you're talking about America's pastime, don't forget to hydrate while you're enjoying America's pastime, either in front of the television, at the game, or maybe you're actually playing America's pastime. Don't forget about Liquid IV's Popsicle Firecracker flavor, a surefire summer hit. Get hydrated with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. Because baseball and summer go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. Tear, pour, live more. 1 stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. Powered by LIV, that's Live Hydra Science, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use promo code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. That's liquidiv.com. Tonal. For those who thrive on getting stuff done, including workouts, every minute counts. That's why you need Tonal, the smart strength training system that takes guesswork out of working out so you can make sure you're making the most out of every single rep each and every time. Even the most dedicated gym goers struggle with consistency, the commute, waiting for weights, other people's sweat. Oh, it makes skipping a workout very tempting. But with Tonal, you could choose from thousands of workouts and also train in a way that you actually enjoy at home. It's a great device, goes on your wall. You can work out with it. Tonal is the world's smartest and most effective strength training program and system that helps you get stronger. Powered by AI, Tonal learns with every rep, so it could deliver workouts personalized just for you. So make sure you take advantage of all they have to offer. It's like having a personal trainer at your home with Tonal. It will optimize every workout just for you. And right now, Tonal is offering our listeners and you, our viewers, $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Tonal.com. And use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $200 off your purchase with Tonal. Tonal.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Thanks for sticking with me, everybody. Much appreciated. A little technical difficulty there, but hey, not just thank you for that, but also thank you for making Locked On Phillies Postcast your first listen. As for your second listen, enjoy Locked On MLB podcast with host Paul Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully. He's here daily to provide national expertise with his trademark humor to help you get ready for the MLB playoffs and get you through the dog days of summer. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Before the break, I mentioned that we were going to look at some chances the Phillies had to make some damage, offensively speaking. They got 4 runs in the ball game. They had a lot of opportunities to get more. As I showed you that box score earlier, take a look at this. Okay, so yeah, top of the order, guys. Awful. 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts. Trea Turner and Kyle Schwarber. 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts. And that's just tonight. All right? Okay. Bryce Harper, 2 hits. Alec Boehm got you an infield single. Later came around to score. Nick Castellanos, 2 hits on the night. Stott actually got you a hit. J.T. Realmuto, 2 hits. Brandon Marsh had 2 hits. Austin Hayes even had a hit for you. You had 11 hits in this ball game. Not even close to enough to make up for these 6 runs that Taijuan Walker allowed in the first 3 innings of the game. Kyle Schwarber contributes a little bit. You win this game. Even with the awful blow-up of Taijuan Walker starting this game out tonight. You look at the Phillies and how they were with runners in scoring position tonight. Another dreadful performance for the Phils. Looking at what they were able to do tonight, 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. They left 7 men on base. Trea Turner 0 for 2. Kyle Schwarber 0 for 2. J.T. Realmuto 0 for 1. There was one particular instance, though, that really stuck out to me, and it had everything to do with Trea Turner in the 3rd inning. And not to pile on Trea Turner, although, it's just weird. Anyway, in that 3rd inning, as I mentioned, J.T. Realmuto led off with a double to left field. Hustle double, if you will. Brandon Marsh steps up there, shows bunt. Okay? Then he ends up getting a single to right field, ends up taking second on Renfroe's error. He gets an RBI single out of it. It's a 1-1 ball game. Hayes steps up. He gets a single. Now, all of a sudden, you have 1st and 3rd with nobody out. You got 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Kyle Schwarber goes up there, ends up offering it strike 3, says he didn't offer it strike 3. Upon further, it was close. I personally don't think he did, but either way, you're gone. So now it's 1st and 3rd. With 1 out. Trea Turner. Now, let's rewind for a second. Trea Turner in the 9th inning against the Braves You get 2 on, you got 1 out. First and second with 1 out. Trea Turner steps to the plate in the top of the 9th inning against the Braves. Hopefully you get something brewing. He hits a bouncer to third and grounds into the 5-4-3 double play. Gone. What does Trea Turner do in this instance in the 3rd inning with first and third and 1 out? Trea Turner grounds into the 5-4-3 double play. Huge opportunity for the Phillies to get something going, and they do not get anything going. 6th inning, you got a hit in that one. Nick Castellanos got a 2-out hit. Trea Turner led off the inning by reaching on an error at third. So you had 2 runners on with 1 out. 2 runners on with 2 outs. First and third with 2 outs. Stott then struck out. That's where he got the back-to-back changeups from Walker. And his head was spinning. He didn't know what Walker was doing with him, but Walker was toying with him in that at bat. And then in the 8th inning, Bryce Harper got a second hit of the game, a 1-out base hit. Alec Boehm came up, got the infield single on that swing and bunt. You had first and second with 1 out. Nick Castellanos stepped up, got the RBI infield single, got the single up the middle that ended up making the bases loaded with 1 out. No run scored. It was saved. Witt saved a run, making a great play there. And then Stott stepped up there on the wild pitch. Harper came home to score. It was 7-3. And then Boehm ended up scoring on the sacrifice fly, made it 7-4. Realmuto had an opportunity to do some damage, ended up grounding out to third base, and that was that. I want to see and hear what you guys have to say about this awful Phillies loss. Let me see what you guys got here. What's going on, everybody in the chat? Appreciate you guys. Rob was encouraged by Taijuan's velocity. Please don't tell me Topper was saying that after the game. I did, as a joke, I did think, hey, you know what? Topper probably thought, hey, Taijuan, you got Bobby Witt Jr. out twice. It's a good start. Look at Harper's stats the last month. He's a problem. No, he absolutely has been a problem. Tonight, he wasn't the problem. There were much bigger problems than Bryce Harper tonight. Since the All-Star break, has he been a problem? Since the All-Star break, is he a part of the Phillies being 12-20? A big part of it? Hell yeah. But tonight, I can't look at Bryce Harper and be like, he's the problem. Has he been a problem? Absolutely. Tonight, not so much. Phillies have 8 walks in their last 6 games. Good Lord. Oh, it's Topper. He was talking about that's gross. Philly Smooth Boy, what's going on? This is the most disappointing team I can remember. They started off looking like historically good team, but since they've fallen off a cliff, disgusted. Wait, what? KGB officer Farzy, buddy, old pal, I'm tweaking out. No. Keith, what's going on? Phillies are sinking fast. Braves won again tonight. Braves now are 5 games behind the Phillies. The Braves won in 10 innings against the Nationals. Was it the Nationals? It was the Nationals. Let's just double check that right quick. Yep, 5 games. Good times. We're all having fun. We're having a good time. This is fun. We're all having a good time. Jamie Slack, team has 0 chance. Elaine, what's going on? Wow, here we go again, right? Jamie, go Eagles. Go Birds, hon. Dave, it's becoming unwatchable. Keith, go Cowboys. What the heck? What? Lisa, when I saw Taijuan Walker was pitching, I knew it was going to be an automatic loss. Yes. Walker's a stiff. Bam Man 100. As bad as the offense was in the game, good chance we win if we simply hadn't started Walker. Yeah, again, I mean, you guys, that's Garrett Stubbs next time? Who's in? Who's with me? Didn't Gilbert start tonight's game as a bat boy? I told you he was slinging suds in the stands. He was in section 131, and they saw him like throw one to a fan, and they're like, "Get him down here." What was his velo? You see the raise on that beer can? That was a pounder he threw. Get him down here. Are you guys sure? Did I win a contest? Johnson, well, please tell me Walker has to be DFA'd. He's not going to get DFA'd. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love for him to get DFA'd. $18 million. He signed a 4-year, $72 million deal. $18 million this year, next year, and the following year. We're all having fun. We're all having fun. Just kidding. This isn't fun. But Julian, what's going on? There is nobody on the team doing anything like have a meltdown in the locker room, come out and say this is unacceptable. Nothing. No. There was a team meeting last week. And remember, then they won 4 in a row. After the team meeting, they, played the Marlins, and then they beat the Nationals, that juggernaut of a team, the Nationals, and then they blew the last game. Bro froze it again. This is when I froze. Sorry, I don't know what happened. As far as he moved, you're scaring me. Did I just look like I? Is that what I look like? I'll have to go back and look at it. I'll edit it on the podcast, and they'll never know. To the people on the podcast, I already told you, sir. It froze at one point, but I edited it out just for continuity. Excuse me, continuity, consistency. There we go. Bring up Marchand, cut Stubbs. Yep. But then you give away one of your best pitchers. Matt, since when does making money mean you get special consideration? Since always, forever? Jamie, wow, they had a team meeting. Awesome. Thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Coming up, we'll take a look at what the Phillies got going on next. Remember when Lazaro was throwing at guys' heads for that brief moment? I was like, yeah, that's what we need. After, from the people who brought you Brandon Marsh saves the season with a wild catch against the Mariners, and the people that brought you Kyle Schwarber saves the season with a grand slam, now bring you Lazar throws at guys' heads and causes a benches clearing brawl, and that saves the season. It never came to fruition. You know what almost came to fruition? Diego, the team interpreter, he was on the mound at one point. They had a pitch comm problem, and they actually had Jose Alvarado on the mound at the time. Diego was on the mound for a second. It almost happened. I was so excited. Anyway, thanks everybody once again in the chat. We'll be back in a second. You're Locked On Sports Philadelphia and Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow as well. I'll tease this again the next time. I'll be back with you guys against the Eagle after the Eagles game, preseason game. And then I'll be back with you guys again after the Phillies game at night when the Phillies get back on track. We'll take a look at that Phillies game coming up in a few. You guys know about SupplyHouse.com. I've talked a lot about SupplyHouse.com. I love SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is fantastic. Here's what you got to do with SupplyHouse.com. You get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades at SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is a reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get an expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business. Then talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at SupplyHouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at SupplyHouse.com. That's SupplyHouse.com/TM to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies. Just a few clicks away at SupplyHouse.com. That's SupplyHouse.com. So where do we go from here on Saturday? Looks like Sunday is going to be the bullpen game. Tomorrow is going to be the Ranger-Suarez game. Now, I didn't hear if Rob Thompson changed that, but it has been expected for a long time that Ranger-Suarez was going to make his return to the Phillies. First game since early July. And he's going to be back on the bump for the Phils tomorrow against Brady Singer. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup. Suarez, 10-5 on the season, has certainly had his struggles in his last couple of starts. As we know, the all-star pitcher is coming off the 15-day IL. He last pitched, it was July 22nd. He went on the IL. He went 5 1/3, allowed 3 runs on 7 hits, so not god-awful against the Minnesota Twins. Pretty darn good baseball team, but he has lost 3 decisions in a row after coming out of actually decision-wise, he's lost 4 decisions in a row. And coming out of June, he was 10-2, and now he's 10-5. Womp womp. He's getting the start tomorrow night. As for what the Phillies will be facing, the Ranger, by the way, still has a 2.87 ERA, not too shabby. Brady Singer gets the start, right-handed pitcher for the Royals. He is 9-8 on the season with a 3.18 ERA. He is coming off a start against Cincinnati Reds where he tossed 6 scoreless, allowing 5 hits and struck out 6. Prior to that, he went up against those Minnesota Twins on the road and went 5 innings, allowing 6 runs on 8 hits, including 2 long balls, 2 walks, and he struck out 9 in the process there. So the Phillies and the Royals back at it tomorrow night, 7:10 start time. I believe that one's going down a little earlier in the evening. 7:10 start time in KC. So once again, programming note, I will be doing the last Eagles preseason game, doing the postcast tomorrow. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock at Lincoln Financial Field. They're playing host to the Minnesota Vikings in the final rehearsal to the regular season. I'll have your postcast responsibilities for that. I will not have you for Eagles postcast during the season. I'm sure Locked On will be doing an announcement shortly about that. But I'll be having your Phillies coverage throughout the year and your Sixers coverage as well. So tomorrow, we're going to get after it when it comes to the Eagles postcast. And then after that, Phillies play their second game of this 3-game series in Kansas City against the Royals. Hopefully we see a wonderful return of Ranger Suarez. And we see Bryce Harper continue to hit. And then those other guys, that Kyle Schwarber fella and that Trea Turner fella, they break out of it tomorrow. And then all of a sudden we can start feeling a lot better about the world. And the Braves lose tomorrow, hopefully. And then the Phillies get back on track. And then we're all cool. Then everything's cool. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Everything's grand. Right? All right? That's the way that's going to go down? I'll cross my fingers. Just to give him one last look. See if anything pops up regarding old Topper after the game. Nope, nothing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Much appreciated. Catch you guys tomorrow for the double dip of postcast action. Eagles kick off at 1. Phillies play at 7:10. I'll be on after both games for the postcast double dip. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.